seen the story that we covered on Breaking Points today of this man, Tom Alexandrovich, the Israeli government official who was arrested in Nevada, who was released and returned to the state of Israel after being charged with luring a child for a sex act. He's an Israeli government official, the head of their cyber division. Well, this is exclusively for our premium subscribers that I'm able to share with you because I literally just got my hands on this information. And it's only because of your support for our journalism that I was able to get this, and I can exclusively report to all of you many of the details surrounding the case. I was able to get my hands on the declaration of arrest from Tom Alexandrovich, which reveals some stunning details. Again, this is exclusive just for our premium subscribers. Nobody else has even heard any of this information publicly. It will remain that way until tomorrow, genuinely as a thank you for enabling our journalism here. I'm going to go ahead and share with all of you the primary source document, which is absolutely stunning, that was shared with me by a source which will remain unnamed. Inside of it, we learn several important things. One of this I'll put just up here on the screen. You can see Tom Alexandrovich, the date and the time of his arrest, which was August 6, 2025.
Well, we have some crazy stuff to react to today, guys. First of all, as you guys seen, Israel had a cybersecurity top official arrested for a Las Vegas pedo sting operation. And out of everything that we've been saying about Israel lately and being called an anti-Semite, anti-Semitic, how does this not prove my statement correct? This is the one person that got let go just to go free back to Israel. And it looks like it's being reported. Update regarding the Israel official who tried to have sex with a child in Vegas, then fled to Israel after meeting with the NSA. The U.S. Attorney General who released him is an Israel-born Sigal Chattah. Makes sense now, especially given the fact that Vegas was, effectively built by Adelson gambling empire. This is the woman right here, acting U.S. attorney. It is disgusting and despicable, regardless where you're from, that we're allowing pedophiles to just walk free because they happen to be cybersecurity officials for the country of Israel. If this doesn't, again, prove the statement I've been saying that Israel controls their government, I don't know what will. Also, we're going to react to the JUBILEE debate, that's been going viral with Amanda Seales and 20 Black conservative. Let's get it started.
Top cybersecurity official was detained for soliciting sex from a minor and then released back to Israel. Yeah, see, because this happened over the weekend, Israel thought they was going to sweep this under the rug. But nah, we're going to talk about this shit. This man, Tom Alexandrovich, is the executive director of the Cybersecurity Directorate of Israel. While in Las Vegas at a cybersecurity conference, this man got caught in a sting operation by the FBI and was detained for soliciting sex from a minor. Now, unfortunately, I have to say detained because he was not arrested, because he was sent back to Israel. It has already been said by Israeli officials that Alexandrovich, who works directly for Netanyahu, will not face any political consequences for his actions. Surprise, surprise. And when I say he works directly for Netanyahu, that is not hyperbole, ladies and gentlemen. The executive director of the Cybersecurity Directorate in Israel is directly selected, handpicked by the prime minister. Man, I wonder what Netanyahu has to say about the fact that the executive director that he picked just got detained for soliciting sex from minors.
Well, I don't think he's going to say anything because he knows that Israel is losing grip when it comes to support around the world, and they've been exposed. I mean, if this wasn't a clear proof statement that Israel controls their government, I don't really know what else can be, but I wanted to push this out as the first thing that I speak about in this video because I think it is a very important topic that we need to be discussing, because pedophiles, regardless where you're from, have no room in this world, and we should not allow them to breathe in this world, especially in regards to children and the children's safety. Now on to my favorite portion of the show, JUBILEE debate. Amanda Seales, huge radical who says she is not a Democrat, but I'm sorry, what party do the radicals vote for? Democrats. So she is a liberal Democrat. She's just more insane with no brains in her head. Versus 20 Black conservatives. She gets demolished everyone on the platform, all platforms right now, are talking about this and how she just didn't come with facts, was triggered during every person that came up and debated her, and she's just not smart. She's a professional victim, which is exactly what all radicals and liberals are. They're victims without facts. They vote off emotion, not policy or actual numbers. Let's get it started, y'all.
Especially people that are in the streets who are committing violent crimes consistently. A $50,000 check, it's not going to fix anything. It's not going to increase the median household income in the next 10 years by 10% or 20%. For example, we have the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882. We prevented Chinese people from getting citizenship and even entering the country. We discriminated against them and basically put them under apartheid, even here in the United States. Yet they have the highest median household income. How is that possible? How come they don't complain and feel entitled consistently to beg for reparations and beg for this when they are killing each other 90% of the time, which is the rate that Black people kill each other, according to the FBI?
Oh, young Matt.
Yet white people are the oppressors.
I'm not sure where your education came from, but they lied to you.
Stats don't lie, though.
Statistics lie all the time. So let's start there, particularly when the statistics are coming from the sources that gain from the statistics being shown a different way. So if you're going to start your argument on stats don't lie, you've already lost the argument. They lie. They lie all the time. One, comparing Chinese people who are immigrants that made a choice to come to the United States and comparing the continued effort of Black people to ground themselves in a nation that continues to make impediments for them to show and live and exist in their true citizenship is a false equivalency.
I don't believe that happens at all. What? No one here is in.
Are you acting right now? Do you really believe
I'm telling
this?
the truth. There's no systemic racism that I've experienced here in America. What system is racist? I think the only racism we've actually seen recently, systemic racism that we've seen, is the application of systemic racism against white people. The University of Western Washington, for example, has been trying to segregate dormitories, using Black-only dormitories because Black people feel safer amongst each other, but they're more likely to kill each other than white people are ever to kill them. That's just the truth. You have King Von rapping about killing other Black men. Why should I think that the white man is the oppressor when Black men are more likely to kill me?
Oh my God, this is scary. You need to think about me as your mama. Do not talk to me in that fashion. So let's check that now. Okay. So on a basic level, we have to understand that systemic racism is grounded in the realities that Black people have not been considered an equal human being in this country since its onset. So there's simply no way to make the argument that there isn't systemic racism. And we have seen in very clear ways the system operate in an organically racist way. Do not cut me off. When
women like this are cancer in today's society. The question is, reparations are going to pretty much benefit Black people. They just want free handouts. That's what the liberals and Democrats do every 4 years. They will promise all this free shit, all these handouts, and radicals like this clown Amanda will buy it. Sink, line, and anyways, reparations, they've been promising forever. The Democrat Party has been talking about this for years, and they've had power in a lot of administrations. Quick question, why didn't they give it out? Because it is a talking point to buy votes. This is what they do before every election. They promise a bunch of free shit, and then they never deliver on any of those promises. Also, these radicals love to play the professional victim, bring up slavery, and use that as an excuse on why we should give them reparations. Do these idiots know who the slave owners were? It's the very people that they support and vote for every single time an election comes around. It is the Democrat Party. The Republicans, led by Abraham Lincoln, were the ones that fought to end slavery, while the Democrats fought to keep slavery. So it's just laughable that they're still falling for these same talking points in regards to reparations, slavery, yet still voting for the same party that were the KKK and the slave owners. Also, he was correct when it comes to how the culture war, when it comes to music. Black music is very violent. It degrades women. It talks about killing people. That is why I push Tom McDonald and mainstream musicians all the time, because I think it is very important to pass down to the younger generations actually good Christian, anti-government, anti-drugs and violence type of music, because it does populate people to do stuff. And unfortunately, Black people, very low percentage in the population as a whole, yet commit over 50% of the crimes and killings. That's just facts. And also, White racism against whites, it is an all-time high. All-time high. He was not incorrect right there. And the minute that he said that, you can see she was triggered. Radicals are triggered by facts. They vote off emotion, not policy or facts. And you will see as we continue the clips, she acts like a clown throughout every single person that she debates against.
Refuse to embrace a victim mentality, because that's not what our grandparents and Harriet Tubman and those people fought for. They fought for
Do
equal
not bring up
opportunity.
Harriet Tubman's name in vain, baby. Please.
They said the
Harriet
Lord's
Tubman,
name in vain.
Harriet
The
Tubman,
Lord's name.
Harriet Tubman was literally saving her family and others from slavery.
Yeah. You know who helped her? White people.
You know who helped her?
They were on the Underground Railroad. Come on in.
No,
come on
you know
in.
who helped her?
Come on in.
No, you know who helped her?
God and Harriet.
People who benefit from white supremacy. One of the things
It's a lie. White supremacy is a lie.
No, sir,
It's
that's
a
simply
lie.
not
There's
true.
no such. I mean,
If that were not the case, then we wouldn't see the continued effort of colonialism and white people placing themselves in positions of power when they do not have the power.
Because their
hear
culture.
this.
Black culture is toxic. The black culture is toxic. We have produced a culture that is toxic. And let's get on the fact that there's no fathers in the black home. Let's talk about that.
Stop.
Let's talk about that.
Stop.
Let's talk about that.
None of this is gonna work if y'all are just gonna sit here and make up shit.
It's
not gonna work. No, it's a debate. Has to be in facts.
You're
You
putting
are
off
literally
emotional liberalism.
I am
right
not
now.
putting off emotional liberalism. You're putting off unfounded lies
That's what y'all
based
do. Y'all
in
start saying
conservatism.
misinformation. Remember, they
It
get the
is
misinformation thing all summer, where everything
Look at this
conservative
man.
did. They said
You're carrying
misinformation.
a chain around your neck of an apartheid nation that actively wants to harm black people and non-Jewish people. But let me bring it back.
I am telling you guys, women like this are the biggest cancer to our society these days. They don't know facts. Emotional liberalism. I love that he brought that name up. I've never heard that term till now. That guy was a genius. He was smart. There is no white supremacy. That doesn't mean there's no racist, but there is no large scale of white supremacy these days. As we see, whites are getting attacked, hate on, at an all-time high lately, and it's because people have been radicalized to hate white people. It's reverse racism. It's just racism altogether. I don't even like using that term, reverse racism. It's just racism, and it's a lot of black people. Sorry to say, it is a lot of black people who've been radicalized who hate white people, and it's because they don't know facts. They vote off feelings and emotions instead of facts and numbers. And again, black culture, yes, when you look up to these rappers who promote this gang lifestyle, this violence lifestyle, then you act on it. When you don't have a two-person parent household, that is also a huge thing. We need men back as the father figure in the households instead of going to prison, which is happening at all-time highs due to the culture. It's all connected. It's all connected. The culture comes from the movies, the music, and then you act on it. It's just sad that people can't see that. And it's so easy to see because I've already explained this many times, but you know what? Black Americans, and I'm going to keep saying this, are waking up right now at record numbers. And I am here for it. I love it. And I support it always.
We're going to be like a neighborhood watch for our community so that before the popo even come, before 12 even rolls up in here, we're going to actually put ourselves in between the conflict and calm it down. And that has been incredibly effective. But you know what? It's not funded. It's not funded. And you would think that like city councils and mayors and governors would say, shit, you know what? This is going to save us so much money because why? Taxpayers keep having to pay for the fault of these police officers. And even though we say, well, only a certain number of people have died, that doesn't dispel the fact that a large amount, more Black people are imprisoned than any other group in this nation. And that is not by accident.
Again, I started with accountability. And it just seemed like
but I disagree with you.
No,
I don't disagree with you.
Because here's the thing. Look at our media. Look at rap. Look at what we're glorifying.
You're right.
We're glorifying violence.
Who's we? Who's we?
The Black community.
Who controls the
Black community?
Who controls the distribution of these sources of media?
And who takes it in? And who takes it in?
Listen, if you're okay, so let me put it in this context. If I have a company, right, and you guys are my employees, and I determine what you get to eat every day, that's also going to determine how you exist in this company, right? Like if you come to work and I say the only thing you can eat is processed foods and fried foods, and you're not going to get to have the best vegetables, etc. What's that going to affect? Your health, that's going to affect your ability to operate, etc. This is how the United States operates. There's a lot of us that don't want to admit that as much as accountable as we want to be, all of our brains also don't operate the same way. Some of us are much more apt to be indoctrinated than others. That's a fact. There is a 1% of people that knows this. There's a whole show called Mad Men that's about advertising, etc. And if we don't acknowledge multiple things at the same time, then we simply cannot stop it. We can be as accountable as we want to be. And I hope that if you're right, because I hope you're right, I wish that it was a situation where if Black people could just be accountable, then nothing else would matter. But unfortunately, that hasn't been the case, because we have seen when we have Black Wall Street in Tulsa and we have Black Wall Street in Durham, that when we actually do hold our own and build our own communities, they will still come and run it down.
It is very hard to listen to radical clowns like this woman right here. He made a great point. We need accountability. Instead of playing the victim card and saying that the white man, the cops are out to get you, how about you listen to them if you get pulled over? Don't cause a scene. Don't scream at them. Don't talk down to them. Listen to them if they tell you to pull over and stay there. And just do as they say, and there will be no problems. Women like this act like cops are just out shooting people, and that you cannot succeed as a Black person in today's society. We live in the best country in the world. Sure, is it hard right now to afford housing and food and everything? Yes, but if you work your ass off, you can get to that pinnacle where you can succeed. You just need to not be a professional victim like this woman clearly is, and actually put work into the system. And through time, it will take time, but through time, you will succeed. I just cannot stand radicals like this woman, because you can give them facts. You can talk about accountability. You could talk about Black culture and how right now they are killing each other at record rates. But in the end, they are just going to say white supremacy, cops are killing us. That is not facts. And you're the problem because you're a bigot. It's so sad that people have been brainwashed and indoctrinated to be such a professional victim that they themselves don't even know the facts that they think they do. And it's sad. But I do think that Black Americans are waking up at record numbers, especially Black men. And I'm here for it.
Let's not get the attitudes and stuff, because you're my sister and I respect you. So
I don't have an attitude. I'm being direct to you.
But how you domestic violence women or men or even attack, what is the first thing we say? It's like, you know what? It's not your what? It's not your fault. So that's what we do. We hold on to this narrative that, well, it's not our fault, and the issues in our community are not our fault, and the white man needs to give us something. The old white lady down the street is looking at me, and I don't know why she got braids in her hair. And we focus on all these other stupid things that don't matter. We don't get to the root of the fact that we're killing each other at a higher rate than any other race. It is self-hatred amongst us. I believe that we can do that. My cousin, my mom's cousin, coming from the church parking lot, and guess who stuck her up and robbed her at gunpoint? A Black man.
I need you to get to the point.
Like,
so
my
I can
point
respond.
is that, and I'm not trying to be funny, unless like you said, we're gonna keep it respectful.
Yeah, but you're monopolizing the whole conversation.
I'm
We're
not trying. Okay, I'm
able
gonna
to
let you speak, but let's not get the attitudes and stuff, because you're my sister and I respect you. So
I don't have an attitude. I'm being direct to you, but you're literally
you're
speaking this, and you're not going to do that with me either.
Okay,
so you're
I'm
stating your
respecting
point. And you've been stating your point for quite some time.
So say,
do you have a reason
ways,
for me to
like,
respond?
Would you allow me to respond? So that's a better response. Go ahead.
The response that I have for you is that everything you're saying does not exist in a vacuum. I actually agree with you in that, yes, there has been an incredible denigration of Black worth and Black pride in this nation. I think it's also very important to acknowledge what has contributed to that. And to state that it is only Black people that have contributed to that is a false flag. So we have to admit that. So in order to have this conversation around how we got here, you can't say, oh, well, we're caring about the white woman getting braids and that doesn't matter and this thing. All of that attaches. All of that is actually a very big part of the lack of worth of Black people.
I'll ask you, do you think we're resilient? What does resilience mean to you? Do you think we have to be perpetual victims, or do you think that Black people
I think
are
that
resilient?
those are two different conversations.
How
I think
so?
because I think that the concept of Black people being victims is really trying to not provide accountability to where the root problem for the actual cause is. And if we keep saying that somebody is a victim and that doesn't mean that the other person should have to actually have accountability, then what are we really doing?
This woman should have never been allowed to be on Jubilee. As you could tell, she's very disrespectful to every person. She gets triggered by facts constantly. Blacks are killing other blacks at record rates right now, and it seems like there is no accountability. They are in these liberal states, these liberal cities. She claims to be not a liberal, even though radical is liberal. They vote Democrat. And yet she just loves to blame the white person for what Black people are doing. It is ridiculous. She says it's a white supremacy, people from behind the scenes that run the cards, like when it comes to the government, and they're all white people. It doesn't make any sense. No one's forcing Black people to attack white people and to kill Black people at record rates, as is happening right now throughout the country. So the blame game just doesn't work anymore. And I think that is why Black people are waking up at record rates, because they are dealing with this. They are seeing this in these cities. They are dealing with it personally in regards to their family. And it's sad. You should never have to deal with the loved one getting killed. But until that 95% that votes, let's say, be frank, Democrat, which are Black people, ends, which I believe it has under this last election, there's not going to be really any change in the states, the liberal states especially, because the liberal states contain minority voters, a lot of them. And unfortunately, they vote at a high capacity for Democrats. But I do believe people are waking up, as you can see in this video. And the radicals, though, the loonies, like this woman, they just play the victim card so much that it's been overplayed and people just aren't buying it anymore. So this is actually Amanda's response about what happened at the Jubilee debate and how she feels it went. Haven't heard it yet, but I'm sure she's going to play the professional victim as she did throughout the whole debate. Let's see what she has to say.
I talked about this on my morning musings on Patreon. Shout out to all of our Patreon subscribers. But y'all have to understand something, is that I don't go into spaces like this to quote unquote win. Who am I competing against? Who am I competing against? What am I? I've already won because my morals are properly aligned. It's like
her morals are properly behind. This doesn't even make any sense what you're saying. How could a single person follow a moron like this woman right here? This is what you call indoctrination at its finest. Also, on the side, no brains.
There's no competition. Get out of here. There's no competition.
So dumb.
When your morals are aligned, we are the champions, my friends. Now, Kim, I see Kim and Rolando in here. You see the trolls, so get them out of here. So like this girl got cooked by the conservatives. First of all, it's fascinating to me that people are saying this because the people I was arguing with had no points. And if you think I didn't...
Yeah, they did. They just said that you are a professional victim pretty much, and that all you do is blame the white person instead of Black people taking accountability for their actions in the Black culture, which is toxic, from music, movies, etc. It's not that hard to get. It's just you have been so indoctrinated because let's be frank, you have no brains anymore, that you just play a professional victim, and that doesn't work for the majority of people anymore. It may work for you, again, because you have no brains, but people with brains, people who can think individually for themselves, who don't watch big media, especially leftist big media, and actually do independent research, you can see the obvious truth, which is you got cooked and you aren't smart and you aren't that bright of a person like you think you are.
Refute their points, then you are either just being a troll or you don't know what debate is. A debate is not meant to try to win over your opponent. That is not what a debate is. A debate is for the purpose of defending your point of view better than the other person. That is a debate.
Which you didn't do.
The debate is not for the two people involved in the debate. The debate is for the people watching.
Too dumb. Amazing.
That is what a debate is. You do the debate to present opposing sides of an opinion, to provide the viewers, the audience, with the opportunity to make their own decisions based on opposing sides.
But she didn't do that. She just interrupted, said they're wrong, agreed with some of what they were saying, and then proceeded to blame the white man. Like, it amazes me people this dumb have platforms as big as they do. You can tell that the leftist ideology has a platform when it comes to YouTube and TikTok, and they will push these clowns with no brains so more eyes can see it. Yet, as you can see by the comments, the reactions from other reactors, people just don't believe what she's saying, and also thinks she got cooked. Cooked means destroyed in the debate, and I agree. I mean, she didn't bring anything informative at all. She played the professional victim during the whole entire debate, and I wish I could play the whole debate, but JUBILEE will give you copyright strike if you do that for some reason. But let me know what you guys think. Hope you have a blessed day. I know we did 2 topics. Let me know what you guys think about the Israel pedophile getting released from the Trump administration and the Amanda Seales JUBILEE debate. Hope you guys have a great day. See you on the next video. Peace.